million.
Puggy Pearson twice in a row, you said?
In the first 2 years, it was actually competed in 71 and 72, but the first year was 6 entrants total. He lost to Johnny Moss. Second year, he lost to Amarillo Slim. That was 8. So he started at the final table both years, so going runner-up was not that impressive. The other one was Crandall Addington, who I mentioned the other day. The guy always wears a coat and a tie. He was runner-up twice in 1974 and 78.
He had a lot of high finishes, I think, too. You see his name all over the...
Yeah.
Of course, they didn't. The fields weren't that big. But. Top
Aldemir,
2 for Aldemir.
Again.
Yeah, again.
And
top
this time,
bottom, yeah.
Much better situation, as Holmes was the pre-flop aggressor and is going to be betting into him. There are some ways this could become a big pot. If Aldemir elects to just call, which I kind of favor a raise, check raise here, just with the flush cards on board. A jack would make a big pot. If we're rooting for blood, which I feel like at this time of night we kind of do. I'm either rooting for blood or I'm rooting for bricks to come while someone's bluffing, and I want to be like, what are you going to do now? Like you know, when they get there, it's less fun.
Bluffs are so popular.
You should try it sometime.
Rule YouTube. You saw my smile and how nice I am to you all day long.
Oh.
Oh.
And Koray is going to check raise. Probably will clear Holmes. If he had even one heart in his hand, he might consider continuing, but I think this hand is not that exciting.
You want to run down there and tell George that?
He's got it, George. I might actually, if I'm Aldemir, I might start check raising like a lot of my value hands, just because you know Holmes is check raising a lot of garbage, so he expects other people to do it too.
Oh.
It's like when you bluff a lot, you kind of put your opponents on bluffing a lot.
That transference. Transferring your own
You're
feelings
like,
onto your opponent.
I would do this if I was empty, so
Exactly.
he could be empty.
George Holmes with more interest in this hand than we have.
What's he doing? What is that? 52 million in the middle already.
Oh, no. It is not good to be Holmes right now.
Holmes. Top pair, no good.
And a second flush draw on board. Aldemir could size up pretty big. Depending on the river, this could be a huge hit to Holmes. Koray could size this to keep 10s interested, which he's beating. Or he could just pick 40 million.
Still playing your tournament.
Yeah, seriously. I'm playing day 2 stacks right now in my mind.
Aldemir yet to act.
Yeah, he could have check raised a flush draw and now has to continue. And it looks like he is going somewhat large.
37 plus?
Yep.
That's 36.5 million.
And George just can't go anywhere. There's no way. He's not floating king queen to hit a king and then folds.
Wow. Just, it's like he's targeting this exact card that Holmes has.
These stacks just about even, and Aldemir about to put some good distance between him and George Holmes.
Yeah, Aldemir with the chip advantage going into this hand, but just slightly.
What other final tables are going on right now? Something big.
Holmes.
A lot of cheering in the
Gonna come.
backgrounds.
Looks like Holmes could call here and hit another lucky river.
That also
Against
could
Koray.
happen. Yeah, there's some really bad rivers for Koray. There's also some action-killing rivers where they both will show down.
Right.
The heart being one of them.
Fence 77, $1,500 50 stack, no limit, supposed to finish tonight. So I'm guessing that's what that is.
Okay.
The only other table that is supposed to finish tonight. Well, there's a freeze out, $1,500 as well. Also called poker tournament.
That is a bit of a scare card as Queen Jack gets there. And I mean, with the heart draw on board, there's a lot of heart combinations that could also make straights that they could have. But with basically pot size in each of their stacks.
Oh, wow. 125 million in the pot right now. Aldemir flopping top two. And then a pair of kings, which is top pair on board for Holmes, which could be his undoing.
Could be. Koray Aldemir might size down just based on this board getting a little straightier. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if this is going to be an all-in jam for pot or if he's going to go 40 million, 50 million and just try to get value.
Well, Koray certainly can smell opportunity. And he knows Holmes has something.
Checks.
Checks, and I think Holmes is probably going to check back. This pot has just gotten so out of control. Koray checking for a couple reasons, but one of which is that hearts missed and just hoping that Holmes has somehow painted himself in this corner where he needs to bluff at missed hearts.
All in.
Whoa, all in with one pair, just the kings.
Wow.
Koray Aldemir just has to say call to win the main event.
Well, he may say call, but I imagine this will take him a while.
I mean, there's a lot to think about here. And Holmes having the queen in his hand might have made the shove a little bit easier. He's blocking the nuts.
Koray Aldemir with tens and sevens. Holmes, you see, with just the pair of kings, has just put all of his chips in the middle.
This might be it.
This is wild, though.
This might be it.
I think Holmes is value shoving for pot. And he's
Yeah, he doesn't know he's behind. He might know now.
100.
Rabbit getting the official count.
2.1. 132.1 million.
9 million more for Aldemir, who has the main event bracelet within his grasp if he can bring himself.
This decision is really tough. He's taken a line that's very strong. He check raised on the flop. He bet 2/3 pot or more on the turn. He checks and is facing an all-in. He knows he's appeared very strong throughout this hand, and his opponent still wants to jam for pot for the main event win. There's a lot to think about.
If Aldemir is wrong, he's down to 9 million chips. German pro Koray Aldemir has the main event in his hands.
When he check raises flop, King 10 is definitely in Holmes' range. There's the really dirty Queen Jack of Hearts hands like that. Ugh. This has to feel absolutely sickening, building this huge pot and then basically having to guess.
He calls. He is the main event champion.
He does.
He does make the call. Just kings. 2 pair, and that is it.
Wow. Just like that.
Koray Aldemir almost let it go, but he is now deservedly the 2021 main event champion. What a run for George Holmes.
Koray Aldemir started the final table with the most chips. He ended it with all the chips, and there was no